What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to my Minecraft 1.18 survival let's play. We are standing here in the valley, and in the last episode we put together the graveyard over there on the west side of the valley. I also threw in a few custom trees over there, and we're actually going to be working over there some more today. But I wanted to start off over here in the storage room. There's something that I would really like to craft that we haven't crafted yet, and for that we're just going to need 2 copper ingots and 1 amethyst shard. Go over here to the crafting table, and we're going to craft a spyglass. Now this thing is super cool. It's new to 1.18, and let's come over here and use the spyglass. Right mouse click. Check that out. That is pretty cool. Now there's a couple things that we can do with the spyglass, and those are specific achievements that we'll need to complete every one of the achievements in Minecraft. And let's see if we can quickly just get one of those. One of them is spotting a parrot, and fortunately we are very close to the jungle, so let's head down into the jungle, see if we can find a parrot, and then look at him through the spyglass to get the advancement. And after we do that, we will get started on the main project for today's episode. Alright, we've been walking around the jungle for a little bit, and I just heard a parrot. I think he's up this way. Oh, hey, there he is. Hello there. And we'll go ahead and look at him with the spyglass. Nice. Is it a bird? Very cool. We got that advancement, and there is at least one more, if not maybe even 2 more advancements that are specific to the spyglass that we will have to work on later. But we're going to go ahead and head on back into the valley and get started on today's main project. And that main project is taking place over here by the graveyard. Here's a little bit of a closer look on what that looks like. I think that looks super cool. And we'll go into the graveyard a little bit, look at it from this way. I think that's looking fantastic. Hopefully we won't have to add too many more gravestones, but if we have to, we have a nice spot to put those in there. But for today's episode, we're going to be working right here in this area. And we're actually going to have to do a little bit of terraforming, push this cliffside out a little bit. Maybe we will mimic the retaining wall over here. I don't know yet for sure, but all that aside, the project for today is we are going to be building a church. I think a church would look cool over here next to the graveyard, and it also kind of adds in some lore to the world and to the valley. And it also is going to have multiple purposes other than just looking good and adding some life to the valley. We are also going to use it to farm bees. So I think we'll build the exterior to look like a church, but then on the inside we're going to set up some auto farms to harvest honey and honeycomb, both of which we get from the bees. And we have a few bee nests that we found several episodes ago when we were looking for dark oak that we'll use to get started. But I think we're going to build the church in a little bit of a time lapse. And hello there. But let's go ahead and kick that off and get this started, and then we'll work on the bees. Now we've got the church all put together. We're going to go ahead and come on inside. Went ahead and did a stripped birch log and birch plank floor. I kind of think that looks cool. Gives it a little bit of texture. But inside of here is where we're going to put the bee farm. But for now, I have the 3 bee nests, and I'm going to place them in here on the wall, and we'll put campfires underneath those in a moment. But you can kind of hear the bees buzzing around inside one of them. But we need to breed up a few more of the bees. We don't really have enough bee nests as it is right now. So before we start building the automated part of the farm, we're going to try to breed up these bees a little bit. There we go. We got at least one guy. Hopefully we can find a second one, and we'll breed the bees a little bit, and then manually harvest some honeycomb from the bee nests. That way we can build some bee hives, and then we can get working on the automated part of this farm. But I'm going to go ahead and breed up the bees a little bit until we have quite a few, and then we'll get started on the automation. Alright, now I've bred the bees up quite a few times, and we're going to go ahead and place down a campfire. I don't think it has to be 1 block lower, but just to be safe, I can't remember, so we'll just go ahead and do that. So now the bees won't be angry when we shear this bee nest, which will give us some honeycomb. So let's go ahead and do that. There we go. Grab that. We got 3 honeycomb, and let's go ahead and put another campfire here. Shear that guy. There we go. And I'm going to quickly move this campfire. Unfortunately, I don't have Silk Touch on my axe, so we had to use the pickaxe. And there we go. Sheared that one as well. And now we can come over here and let's craft some birch wood, and we can craft the bee hive. There we go. And that's what the beehive looks like, and it'll give the bees, oh, there we go, one just went in. It's basically like a bee box in the real world, so the bees that we have been breeding inside the church here now have somewhere to live inside this box right here. So now I believe it's starting to get to be nighttime. Let me just double check. Yeah, I think the sun is going down, so we're going to wait just a little bit longer for the sun to go down, and then we will put together the automated honeycomb farms. So while we wait for nighttime to come, let's go ahead and put together one of these segments of the farm. So basically we've got pretty much everything we need right here. And I'm going to put them even with these pillars and then probably 2 on either side. But let's start with here. I'm going to break that block and dig that out, and unfortunately we are seeing the underneath of this terraforming we did. So just as a temporary block, we're going to throw some birch planks right there, and we need a hopper, and I think we're going to point it in like that. And then on top of the hopper, we're going to put a mine track and then a minecart right there. And actually, we're going to have to move all this one block over, but it looks like it is now nighttime. So let's go ahead, quickly gather these up. Shouldn't be any problem because we have the campfire. There we go. And looks like we have one lonely bee. Not to worry, we will get him a home. And once we get these automated bee farms put together, but let's go ahead and sleep. We'll move that over and then we'll continue working on the automated honeycomb farm. I got that moved over one block, and now we're going to go ahead and put the rest of this together. So to start, we're going to put a dispenser right here, and then we just need any block as a placeholder for right now. We'll do the birch. And we're going to take an observer, which needs to be facing down towards this hopper minecart, and so we're gonna jump up, place that. You can see it's facing down like that, and then we need to replace that log right there, which went down into the hopper underneath. And while we're here, we'll take out that, add another hopper. There's our log. Oops. And then we will put a moss block right there and a poppy on that. And then when we're ready, we'll put the beehive, the bee nest, depending on what we use, right here. And so how this works, we also will have to go grab some redstone. Let me go do that real fast, and then I'll explain how all this works. All right, we're back with that redstone dust. And real quick, what we're going to do is we're going to put one on the observer and one on the block like that, which will connect this whole circuit up. And how this works is we will place the bee nest in this space right here above the minecart with hopper, and inside of the dispenser we will put shears. And so every time a bee leaves a bee nest or a beehive, they will update the redstone signal, and that is detected by the observer right here, and then that'll send a signal through the redstone, through this block, to the dispenser, which will activate the shears. And it will only work if the bee nest has reached a honey level of 5, and so it'll only use the shears every time that it can, so the shears won't be run down unnecessarily. So we can place down this beehive right here. And so one thing that we might end up needing to do is encasing the different modules in glass, so that way it kind of keeps the bees in a little enclosure around their automated system. But we'll see how it goes with the bees out in the open to start. I don't really know if I want to put them in a glass box or not, but we'll leave them out like this for now, see how that goes. And I'm going to go ahead and replicate this a few more times, and then we'll be back once I've got that all put together. All right, here we go. We have 10 of these automated honeycomb farms set up, and I have bred up the bees many times, so I think just about every one of the bee nests has 3 bees. I'm not entirely sure, but we definitely have enough to have a pretty profitable farm. And then right here we have this barrel that has been collecting all of the honeycomb, and you can hear the farms being harvested. And here we go. That is looking good. We already have 4 stacks of honeycomb, and you can see in my inventory I have some more redstone components. Now, we don't have room upstairs for the other part of this farm, so I'm thinking we will come down here and kind of build some sort of a basement underneath the church, and that'll also give us access to the skeleton farm, which is down there. But down here we're going to put the honey farm, and it's a little bit of a larger contraption than what we have up there, so I think this space will be good for that. So let's go ahead and get working on the honey farm. For this farm, we're going to start over here on this side. It's the eastern side of the basement, and we're going to build the farms and then come back and build the basement around them. I think that is going to be the plan. But let's go ahead and put one of these modules together. I'm going to start right here, and we're going to put a hopper right there, and then we will use a one of these beehives that we crafted with the honeycomb right like that. And then we need a dispenser that's looking down into the beehive like that. So we'll just use those 2 temporary moss blocks like so. And then behind here we need 2 blocks like that. We need a block right here. I'm gonna grab a comparator, which will go like so, and then we'll do a block here and a block here, and we might have to take this up just a little bit. And then we're going to grab our redstone dust, which will go there and there, and then we need a piece of glass and a solid block, so I actually have to take out that row of dirt like that. Okay, and then our redstone dust continues upward over here until it ends up on top of the dispenser. Now in the dispenser we're going to fill it up with glass bottles like this, and that'll probably be enough for now. We'll save these for the other modules that we're going to build. But that's pretty much the honey farm module, and the way it works is when the bee updates the honey level in the beehive, it will send a redstone signal across here to the comparator, and then when it reaches level 5, it'll send a high enough redstone signal that it'll go to the dispenser, causing it to use a bottle to collect the honey, and then the honey bottle can't go back into the dispenser since it's full, so it'll go into this hopper, and we will set up a an item collection system. But I'm going to go ahead and build a couple more of these, and then also get some bees down here, and then we will check back in once we've got this farm working and fully put together. And here we go. I was setting up some more of the bees, and we got the Be Our Guest achievement. Use a campfire to collect honey from a beehive using a bottle without aggravating the bees. And so I went ahead and got these balls of honey while we're setting up this automatic honey farm, and we're going to take those down and continue to breed the bees up inside the basement, and hopefully our bee farm will start working, as you can see here. So this this beehive right here has a honey level of 1, which is sending a redstone signal through the comparator to this dust. And you can see that this second dust right here is not lit, but that one is. And as the honey level goes up from 0 to 5, it will continue to send a signal that's strong enough to light all of these pieces of redstone dust until it gets to the dispenser. So I'm going to continue to breed up the bees, and I might put together a couple more of these segments, but then we will check back once this is fully put together. There we go. We've got 5 sections of the honey collection system going, and we don't have any honey quite yet, but the redstone is starting to receive power, so the bees are going in and out, which is good. They're also kind of hovering up here near the roof, so I might have to cover the hoppers up. I don't really know what's going on there. I mean, they can get down. They're not stuck, but that might be an issue we address in the future. But that is going to be where we leave it for today's episode. We got a lot done today. I'm super excited. I think the church looks fantastic, and we will have lots of new things to build with the honey blocks and the honeycomb, and we're going to be using those honey blocks in a future episode not too far from here. But thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate you taking the time to watch my videos. Make sure to check back for the next one, and if you would, please consider subscribing. I would really appreciate it. Thanks again.